Broadcasting live from Bloodfell Caves on the plain of Tarkir, this is Tap Tap Concede. Welcome everybody to Tap Tap Concede. My name is Graham. Joining me is Nelson.
Hey, that's me.
And Kathleen.
I've got a catchphrase. No, I don't.
And today, welcome to Magic Players React to Alchemy Cards. We're gonna
make so much clickbait.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Tarkir Alchemy just came out. We have yet to engage with it ourselves, and so I literally have not seen a single card from it. So Paul's going to show us the cards, and we're going to read them and see what we feel about the latest round of Alchemy. Before we do that, I want to remind everybody that everything we do here is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or by becoming a member on this YouTube channel. Thank you for letting us do all the things that we do. Tap Tap Concede in specific is also brought to you by Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR to get yourself not alchemy cards, because those are digital only, but you can get yourself anything that's cardboard from Card Kingdom. We think they're a great place to do that. And you can tell them Loading Ready Run sent me button, please, and they'll give you a little button that says a funny thing. And I think right now they're just beginning to, or very soon, possibly by the time we're recording, we'll be sending out Sarkhan was a man.
Or maybe.
Maybe he was a dragon man. That's a joke for us, and or people roughly our age, and of course also Dragon Shield. Use the code LRRMTG5 to get yourself a 5% discount off anything you buy from Dragon Shield. Okay, before we get into the alchemy, Paul has worked up a cool and fun thing that I want to try because it's neat. It's what's that magic card? It's like a who's that Pokemon thing. This will be primarily for
Pikachu.
This will be primarily for the people watching the video. I'm sorry for audio listeners, but we're going to be presented with the blurry art of a magic card, and then the unblurred art of a magic card, and then what? Then the type line, Paul, and then the full card, or
yeah, it's the type line, and I guess you also get the color and the set symbol if that helps.
Right. Okay. Let's try and guess it. I'm curious to see how this goes.
Star City Games has been doing this a bit on social media, and it's fun, but it's often kind of easy.
Oh,
you know this one?
This is from New Phyrexia.
It's from Phyrexia All Will Be One.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot. I think this is a white card. I want to say it's like a...
It looks a bit like Elish Norn, right?
I want to say
this is like it's a 2/4.
It's a white, like, uncommon. I was also thinking 2/4.
Yeah.
What is...
It has infect.
Does this one like exile their small creature if they have 3 poison counters? Is it that one?
No, I think this one wasn't as playable.
Is it like it'll have vigilance if they have... It's got to say like when they have 3 poison counters.
Yeah.
Right, it's got to do something with poison. Yeah, that's definitely the card I was thinking of.
It makes mites.
Look,
little mites. Maybe,
yes.
maybe
it
makes
comes
mites.
with it.
Comes with a mite?
Does it make a mite? Or mites you control have unblockable? No.
Is this just like a 2/4 that comes with a mite? It's a Phyrexian Cleric.
It is a white Phyrexian Cleric.
Yeah.
Is it 4 mana? 3 and a white, 2/4. Bring a mite. It has vigilance.
I think it is 4 mana too. I think you're right. Orthodoxy Enforcer. Okay. It is a 2/4. It does have vigilance. It's 3 and a white. It gets +2/+0 as long as you control 2 or more artifacts.
The mites were a red herring.
The mites are artifacts.
Right.
So she controls 2 artifacts and then becomes stronger.
As long as you control 2 or more artifacts is a weird one. Like Metalcraft was right there.
Yeah.
But I guess they just wanted to scale it back. You know.
Well, there wasn't that many artifact creatures in the set, though.
But there were the mites.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of things that made these little artifact creatures.
Well, that was fun.
That was great, Paul. Thanks.
Thanks, Paul.
Look forward to more of that. All right. So now, we like I said, we haven't seen any of the alchemy cards for Tarkir Alchemy. So let's take a look at what they're dropping on us this time. First up, Amber Plate Einok. 1 and a green for a 2/2 dog mercenary. Oh gosh, with double team. At the beginning of your second main phase, if this creature is tapped, it endures 1.
So you get a second one. That's how double team works, right?
Double team is... So, here's the thing. I haven't looked at the cards, but I did pull them up on Arena because the only way to check if a card has flavor text
is to highlight it
on Arena.
Right.
Double team is, when a creature with double team attacks, if it's not a token, conjure a duplicate into your hand. and then
when it attacks, so
Yeah.
it just keeps making more.
and then both of them lose double team.
Oh,
Then
okay.
both of them lose. Yeah,
Yeah.
it brings one more friend if it gets to attack, and by bring we mean put a new created one into your hand.
Yes. So you play it. It's a bear. It's a dog, but it's a bear. You attack with it. You get one in your hand. Then they both lose the double team ability. So that doesn't go infinite. And
It's
then
got, like, the
and then it has the
survivor
Duskmourn
ability.
survivor
Yeah.
mechanic, where second main phase it'll endure. So either it gets a +1/+1 counter, or you make a spirit.
Nice dog.
Nice dog.
It's a pretty good dog, yeah.
Flavor text, quote, "My family is with me on every hunt. Can you say the same?" Attributed to Akef, House Fenzala bounty hunter.
Oh,
Okay.
getting some good lore buried in there in the arena
You
thing.
never ever see alchemy
It's so
flavor
depressing.
text.
But I'm glad they put it in.
This card seems reasonable and fun within the realm of alchemy.
Yeah, it seems like pretty good. Like, basically, it's a 2/2 that turns into another 2/2, or maybe a 3/3 if it survives, or maybe it's not going to survive, but you want a 1/1.
Yeah. Double Team first, I think, showed up in the arena version of Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. Right? Which was, if you remember,
That sounds
was a completely different set than it was in paper.
They use the same art
Oh, right. Right.
and similar names.
Yeah,
because they were the same legendary creatures. Right?
I remember I played a bunch of it because it was honestly a really fun format. And then I went to Jeremy Petter's birthday party and we drafted the actual set. And I was having a very difficult time.
Right.
Because there was a whole bunch of cards I'd literally never seen before.
Yeah.
And there were cards that looked the same but did not do the same things. That was weird. Yeah. Look forward to more of that with Through the Omen Paths.
Now that was exactly. Yeah, that was a decision that the arena team or whatever people at Wizards somewhere made that wasn't necessarily tied to alchemy, but is one of the strikes that alchemy has to bear now.
Yeah. Next up, let's take a look at what we got next. Audacious Knuckleblade. Oh, as opposed to Savage Knuckleblade. This Knuckleblade's got abs and a lot less fur than the Savage Knuckleblade.
I've figured out where I saw these cards before. I played 3 rounds of or maybe 4 of the midweek Magic.
Okay.
Which was introducing, gave you free access to decks with these alchemy cards in them.
Okay.
It was like 60 card starter decks, but with alchemy cards. And I played the Temur Dragons one because you had another one up before we started the podcast. We had one of the Oasises up, and I was like, I haven't played any alchemy, but I did see this card somewhere. I thought maybe it was historic.
This is a Ether Drift Knuckleblade because it's got exhaust.
Right. So we see the exhaust mechanic.
Yeah, this is weird. So it's green, blue, red for a 4/4 Ogre Warrior Wizard.
Shout out to original Knuckleblade from Tarkir.
Yeah.
Yep. Savage.
And it's got, Savage
Thank you,
Knuckleblade.
thank you.
See, also an Ogre Warrior. But again, this ogre looks much more like an ogre. The
Right.
ogre that we have now, it looks very cool. But like I said,
More of a sexy ogre situation.
yeah, fewer or less fur and more abs. And yeah, 3 exhaust abilities. They're just throwing everything on here. So exhaust for 2 and a green. Seek a card named Audacious Knuckleblade and put it onto the battlefield tapped. So seeking just means you pull it out of your deck, but because it's digital, you don't shuffle the deck. It just comes out of the deck. So this is obviously for constructed with these. You just get another one. And then that one has the same ability, so you can just keep doing that.
You can fish all
until you
4
get
out.
Up
all
to 4
the-
times. Yeah. They're like Squadron Hawks.
Yeah. 1 and a blue, surveil 2, then untap this creature. And a red, creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. So if you have functionally infinite mana, you could just go get all the other Knuckleblades, untap them all, and then give them all haste.
Yeah.
This is
It's not even like super infinite. It's like 3 plus 9 plus 6. What is that? 18? 19 mana.
Wait, but like, okay, but they're not going to come in tap. Oh, wait.
They come in tap, and then they untap themselves with their other ability.
Right, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you only need to exhaust the red one of them once, right? Because it gives them all haste.
Oh, God.
It's a neat card. I like that there's a callback to Savage Knuckleblade. The mana cost, and power toughness are obviously identical, but the abilities are vastly different. The original Savage Knuckleblade was meant to be like a little fortress of creaturedom on its own, where it could like get pseudo hexproof, get bigger, have haste, like do, it sort of slices and dices on the battlefield. And this one is like this weird sort of like puzzle of, well, can you make a ton of value out of your 3-drop in constructed? Great.
I get that sort of anything is fair game in Alchemy, and like all tools are in the shed and are available to be used, but I don't love that they're using exhaust on Tarkir Alchemy
No,
cards.
I don't love that either.
It's like Tarkir has its own mechanics.
Sure.
yeah.
Why exhaust on this one? That's weird. Oh well. Okay, next. Call the Crash. Oh, I saw this one previewed. This card's
is what
messed up.
you did see one card from Alchemy before the podcast.
Yeah,
so,
I did. You're right. 3 white, black, green for a sorcery with Suspend for 1 white, black, green. And it's just conjure 2 cards named Siege Rhino onto the battlefield. Conjure, again, digital only mechanic. It just makes a card. It's not a token. It is a card. When it dies, it goes to the graveyard. It can be returned to your hand. It creates a card that didn't exist before. And in this case, it's 2 Siege Rhinos, which
For 6 mana.
if you recall, is 1 white, black, green for a 4/5. I forgot it was so big.
Yeah.
4/5 Rhino with trample, and when it enters, each opponent loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life.
This is busted.
Well, unfortunately, it's fair. Like, this is the era we live in. Like, this card made me want to show up for this podcast because I was like, oh, that's so cool, in a way that only people with my, birthday are gonna really be able to relate to, right? Like, there was an entire constructed format that pretty much revolved around this card. There was a Pro Tour where, like, this was the main 2 words that people said in a row on commentary the whole weekend.
Siege Rhino.
Siege Rhino. Oh, they've got a
Siege Rhino.
Sam Pardee has a 4th Siege Rhino on the table at the same time. What, like that sort of thing happened for like a whole season. This was like, this card represents a little like nudge forward that like Magic power creep experienced. And now we're at the point where the power creep has continued to the point where this card is largely unplayable, and getting 2 of them for 2 more mana is like fair. Like, it's still good. Don't get me wrong. You could still win games with Siege Rhino, but like Siege Rhino in current standard, I don't know if it would matter.
Wow.
Yeah. That's where we're at.
Harsh words from Nelson.
It's good to be aware of reality sometimes, on the internet now, there's all this various stuff, and just heads up, kids, like Siege Rhino, it's not 2009 anymore.
Why does it have Suspend?
Well, you can either pay 2 more mana or 2
Yeah.
more turns, and either way you get a free Siege Rhino. Well, not free, you paid for it, but why are they only using mechanics outside of the realm of the Tarkir abilities, Graham? Great question. Next question.
All right, yeah,
so
fair
we've seen
enough.
3 cards and none of them. Well, no,
Double
there was
team.
Endure. It was funny. We had an Endure
did
and Double
endure.
Team.
It did endure.
Endure is an absent ability, but it was strapped to Survival.
Yes, it was.
So that first dog actually had Survival and Double Team.
Yeah.
Then we saw Exhaust, and now we're seeing Suspend.
Oh, okay. This one's going to come with mites next, then.
Is it better? Do you think it's better to suspend for your
a
rhinos or
siege.
to wait till?
Or a battle.
Oh yeah.
How to cast a spell? I
Yeah.
mean, it's entirely up to
Whatever
the
you
game.
get
Yeah,
to.
it's really cool that it's
Suspended
flexible.
on turn 4, and then on turn 6,
another one.
Get them and play another one. And the 2 that come in off, no, they don't get haste because they are not creatures coming off suspend.
Right. That's an important distinction. This is not a creature spell. So if you never played with the card with Suspend, this is actually a really fun rule inside Magic that, like, they said at development, like, they had Suspend on creatures, and when they entered, everybody just kept attacking with them by accident because they had kind of been on the table already, and they're like, okay, now it's in play. Hit ya. And, like, that was a design or a development like add-on to the rule of Suspend, where it's just like everybody seems to intuitively want to keep attacking with these instead of leaving them on the table for a turn.
Like an extra turn to lose summoning sickness?
Summoning sickness, exactly. So then they were like, okay, let's just change the rules. So that was like an interesting
sweet.
cue into Suspend. But because this is a sorcery, These
rhinos
siege
don't have
rhinos will
haste?
be sick. Yeah, exactly. They're going to get summoning sickness.
They're
But you
still
still get to, if you do that play you're talking about, you still get to lightning bolt them for 12. Or
Yeah,
helix
exactly,
them.
yeah.
Helix them for 12.
All right. Another. Cunning Azure Scale. It's a 5 and a blue dragon. It's a 5/5 with flash and flying. And when this creature enters, secretly choose land or non-land. Seek 2 cards of the chosen kind.
But
And then it also has an omen, Divining Dive, that is 1 and a blue for an instant. Secretly choose land or non-land. Seek a card of the chosen kind.
this is very, very good.
We got there. There's a Tarkir mechanic on one of these Tarkir cards.
Yeah. This seems badonk.
Yeah. So,
Always hit your land drops, kids.
so again, Seek, this only works digitally because you can...
It's DT.
Yeah, but you can choose
Ish.
it... Well, it's still random, right? So that's the
Yeah.
thing, is like...
That's true.
You choose non-land, and you are going to get a random non-land card out of your deck.
Could be another Cunning Azure Scale.
But because it's digital, it will just happen. You don't have to reveal it to your opponent to prove that you've done that correctly. And they don't know if you chose land or non-land.
Yeah.
I assume if you're casting Divining Dive, you could very well be looking for your 3rd land or maybe your 4th land or something. I would allege that if you're casting the 6-mana dragon, you're probably looking for 2 non-lands
Yes,
at
I
that
would
point.
imagine. But like, it's
But-
just so. Oh, I love this card, but it's broken.
This card's very powerful.
Well, like keep in mind, if you choose non-land off of Divining Dive, you're not picking which non-land card. You get.
Exactly.
So you have no way of knowing whether you're getting like the thing you need if you're casting. Like I think Divining Dive in desperation for like some answer to a problem is reasonable, but
I would want to cast Divining Dive to get land.
Sure.
And then when I cast Cunning Azure Scale. And by the time I'm able to resolve a 6-drop, like, I'm getting two gas spells essentially.
for days.
Like,
Yeah.
it's very good.
Nice. All right. That's not inordinately busted as I feared.
How many
might all
alchemy
be.
cards are there?
There's I don't know. There's a handful. Dalkovan Outrider is next. 1 black red for a 3/4 Orc Warrior with Mobilize 2. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, the topmost creature card in your library perpetually gets +1/+1.
Okay, so we have to sack Mobilize tokens at the end of turn,
Sure
though.
do.
yeah.
Oh, this is but
This is
kill on
interesting
sight.
because in the
3/4 as well.
in the set, I don't recall seeing Rakdos cards. I don't think there were
There must be.
pure black-red cards.
I thought they gave us like
There were a
an
couple
uncommon.
There were a couple
of
Boros
each.
cards,
Okay,
and there were some gold cards that cast for all 3 colors. But I don't recall.
right.
Paul, are you
Maybe
able
the
to
Rakdos
check?
card is
Are there cards in main set that are only red and black?
There must have been an enchantment because I thought there was. Aren't there 10 sieges?
There's the siege enchantment.
Are there 10 of those or not though? Because it's
No,
like,
there's 5 because you're choosing one of those.
and not in
okay.
these colors.
But I know there's a black green one and a black white one.
There are no solely black red cards.
Ah,
Okay,
I thought this
interesting.
looked weird, and that's why I was like, interesting. Because it still works with Mardu, and that's the Mardu ability, and that's totally fine. But yeah, because of how they centered the
Mardu is centered in white now.
and so you can have like white and black or white and red, but not red and black.
Interesting. Okay.
So for that reason, I'm out.
Yeah, flavor fails.
So okay, weird.
This card's messed up. It's really good.
This card is super messed up. I think they obviously made it black red to have constructed applications.
Yeah,
like this
for
this is like your new sort of Mayhem Devil for the formats where it's available, right? Like if you have some deck that's playing Mayhem Devil, maybe you're slipping this in as well because it gives you a backup plan in a different direction than your Mayhem Devil decks, your Rakdos Sack decks normally go. And obviously, yeah, the potential value you can get off this thing is like really fast and really powerful.
Even if this is the only mobilize and these are the only creatures you're sacrificing, it just means the next card in your library is going to be 2 power and 2 toughness bigger
As long
for the
as
same
you can
cost.
attack with this thing.
Yeah, exactly. But 4 toughness,
Or you
dodges bolt.
You
Yeah.
could also have another mobilize or, somehow permanent sacrificing thing. You could just play this on turn 3 after making some treasures,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wild.
Wild.
Doesn't even have to be creature.
And it's the topmost creature, not the top card. So
You crack an Evolving Wilds.
Yeah.
So if a creature is if there's no creatures except for like maybe 3 or 4 cards down, it's possible that creature will come out with 6 or something.
Like it's like an Enoch Wayfinder that comes in as a 9/10.
Right.
Hey,
Well, I guess it would be a 9/9.
I've been training in the library.
But
All right, sweet.
I'm not a speed bump anymore.
There's a lot of interesting constructed applications you can do with this, Paul. Like Paul's pointing out, it doesn't say that it has to be the top card. If it's a creature, it gets bigger.
Yeah.
You could have like this and, only a few other creatures and then like some way to cascade into them because your creatures are cheap, but your other spells are expensive or whatever, The way that this affects the rest of your deck is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Wild. Next. Desert Cenote.
Hey, we know what a cenote is.
We should have broadcasted from here.
Yeah.
Next time.
It's a desert, which is not a mechanic in this set, but
Nope.
is a mechanic that exists elsewhere. If you were the starting player, this land enters tapped. This is a thing they've done before with like Forsaken Crossroads and things like that. As this land enters, choose up to 2 colors from among cards in your hand.
Oh.
And then it taps for colorless or 1 mana of one of those chosen colors. So this is all the fixing you could ever want.
And also maybe tied for worst top deck of all time.
It's got to be pretty bad, yeah, right? Because if you're the starting player,
Yeah, it's like this tap land that only taps for colorless.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is a desert, as you point out, so that's kind of exciting and has some applications.
yeah, weird.
Pump your green blade or whatever.
Next, Draconic Fealty. Single black mana for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you may behold a dragon. Target player discards a card with the greatest mana value among cards in their hand. If a dragon was beheld, you also exile their graveyard. Interesting.
This could have been a normal card.
For sure.
Yeah. There's been some discourse around that there are alchemy cards that totally function
I wonder
in
if
paper.
some of these alchemy cards are alchemy cards because they got cut from the set.
I don't know.
I want to posit that like target player discards a card with the greatest mana value among cards in their hand doesn't actually work in a paper game.
That's true. You'd have to reveal the hand.
Yeah, you'd have to like this card on Arena doesn't let you see any of their cards in your hand, and so there's no way to.
Oh, that's true.
There's no way to do that.
But you can turn 1 just get their most expensive thing.
Yeah,
And potentially behold a dragon and exile it, I guess. But yeah. Huh.
That's okay.
Yeah, it seems fine. Okay. Next. Dragon Typhoon. 4 red for a kindred enchantment. Dragon.
Kindred detected.
We have a kindred enchantment. It's a dragon type enchantment. Whenever you cast a dragon or non-creature spell, draft a card from Dragon Typhoon's spellbook and put it onto the battlefield. Also, it has channel. So for 2 red and discard this card, you just make a 4/4 dragon with flying.
Okay.
So for 4 mana, you can just make a dragon.
This is a classic alchemy.
Yeah, this I've said this before on the show. The spellbook cards, it's cool, but I don't like them because it's so much information, and like the problem is the play pattern for me is if my opponent plays something with a spellbook, right? The way that drafting from a spellbook works, if you're unfamiliar, is that there's usually 15 potential cards in a card's spellbook, and when the player casts it or activates the ability or whatever makes it so that you draft a card, they're presented with 3 of them at random, and then they pick 1 of them. So in this case, you'll see 15 cards. I assume they're all
probably dragons,
various iconic dragons, and then they pick 3. And because there's so many things it could be, if my opponent does it, I'm just like, okay. Well, I'm not going to play around it because I have absolutely no idea what it could be. Like, there's no like, oh, interesting. Okay, so it could be that because the information load is potentially so high, I just shut down.
Yeah,
and
you basically have to consider all 15 options.
Yeah, so I consider none of them. I just go, okay, well, that
it could be
happens.
Literally anything.
I guess we'll find out when I lose.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
it seems like a win more card.
I think this card has 2 modes. It's like Alchemy Constructed or whatever, 4/4 flying for 4 with flash, and then Brawl 6 mana card advantage engine in your dragon deck.
Yes.
It is. It's also. It can be beheld.
Yes.
Oh, because
a
it's
dragon.
Kindred Enchantment.
Yeah. If you're
Powerful.
curious, the spellbook is Thunderbreak Regent, Stormscale Scion, Magmatic Hellkite, Boltwing Marauder, Nereeve, Caldera Pyremaw, and Thundermane Dragon.
Oh, so
not
not
even
15.
not even 15 cards, just a handful of.
But they're all kind of like
Very
4
powerful
or
dragons.
5s
Yeah.
mana dragons, basically. Yeah.
are we only on D?
Yeah, but there's only like 24 cards.
Oh, okay.
Next. Dragonblood Twins. 1 and a red for a 2/2 human monk, also with double team and flurry. Hey, what's up? Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, until end of turn, this creature has base power and toughness 4/4 and gains flying.
Oh,
I like this one better than the dog.
Yeah, this
me
is great.
too. This is really good.
You play it, and then the next turn you do 2 things, then it's a 4/4 flyer, so then you can attack, and then you get your double team. Cool.
I can't quite see the art from here because of the angle of the TV. It looks like basically this is like the most badass babushka ever with like the head wrap.
Yeah.
It looked like they're doing the
There's a
thing
hood.
from. I mean, I
Oh,
can't.
it's a hood.
I can't name a specific one, but I think it's from many different kung fu movies where they're running across the top of the bamboo.
Oh, yeah. That might be what's going on here.
Very cool.
This card seems really good.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, I have no objections here. Next. Dragon Soul Prodigy, 2 and a red for a 2/2 human monk. Whenever you cast your first omen each turn, that's an interesting thing to care about that they didn't do in the set. Conjure a duplicate of that card onto the battlefield. Oh, hell. It gains haste. At the beginning of the next end step, shuffle it into its owner's library.
Okay, wait. So hold on. I have Dragon Soul Prodigy out,
Yeah.
and I cast, I don't know, Skimming Strike
Yeah.
on like Durgar Island Dragon.
Yeah. You
Which
cast
is tap
Skimming-
a creature
Yeah.
and draw a card.
Yeah.
Right.
So I cast Skimming Strike.
Yeah.
And so Dragon Soul Prodigy is going to copy a Skimming Strike.
No.
That's what it sounds like on the card, but I think
no,
it's going to give you a Durgar Island dragon.
It's going to copy a Durgar Island Dragon.
Yeah.
It's going to get haste.
Yeah.
I'm going to attack with it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's going to get shuffled back into my library.
Yeah, a new extra Durgar Island Dragon. The one that you cast the omen of initially has already been shuffled back in. Then you conjure again, which is making a new card, a duplicate of the dragon. You can attack with it or not, and then at the end step, that new card also goes back
So
into your deck.
I picked Skimming Strike because it's like not the super most high impactful card, but it's
Yeah.
a card you're vibing to run.
Yeah.
But you're really happy to get that Durgar Island Dragon because it's a 4/4 Ward 4.
Yeah.
That's busted.
Yeah.
So there's this is some sort of weird kind of mid-rangey combo engine where you want to play this with 4 or 5 mana. And I guess are there any omens for 1? You probably always need 5 mana.
Sagu
Sagu
Wildling.
Wildling is the only one.
Right,
Roost
okay.
Seek.
Okay, well that's not very exciting, but maybe you'll do it because
Because it gets
you can.
the land. I mean,
You gain 3 life off Saga Welding too, don't you?
yeah,
The
you gain
ETBs?
3 life and like you get a 3/3 dragon, and then you ramp yourself for more shenanigans. Any dragon, any omen is good with this.
Sure.
Doesn't ramp.
Well, the first one does because you cast Roost Seek.
That puts it in your hand.
Yeah. It's not it's we
Right.
I say we, I wasn't there. Surge became roasted for this at the PPR. It puts the land in your hand, not into play.
Okay.
Thank you for watching LRR and Surge.
Yes. The Twin Maw Stormbrood would be another good one. That's the 2 mana for basically roast. It deals 5 damage to a non-flyer, and then when it enters, you gain 5 life.
Oh, nice.
So that would be another pretty spicy friend. Yeah.
All right.
And attacks for 5.
Okay, so this card is busted.
Yeah.
Moving on. That's like you said. We've only
Yeah.
got
It's
2
very,
dozen
it's
cards.
very build
but, like,
around though. Like it is a Scathed Zombies. Like you have to put it in the deck with a.
Is there a flavor text?
Like,
No. I've been checking every time.
Oh wow.
Dragonweave Tapestry. 4 mana artifact. When it enters, conjure Dragonweave Tapestry's spellbook into your library twice. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you cast a dragon or omen, draw a card. And it also taps for 1 mana of any color.
Okay, so you're gonna shuffle 10 cards into your library.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought they were always the same amount. I'll tell you what's
They're
in the
not.
spellbook.
Yeah, I think there's some of the Eldrian spellbooks are only 7.
Oh, it's just
or
a
8
bunch of
cards.
dragons. They're all dragons from the main set. Purging Stormbrood, Twin Maw Stormbrood, Runescale Stormbrood, Disruptive Stormbrood, and Whirlwing Stormbrood. So if you don't have all the names
I
down,
was right. It is 10.
it's the black 4/4 that removes counters, and has the +2/+2 and hexproof and lifelink ability. Twinmaw Stormbrood, the 5 power one that gains you 5 life and has roast. The 2/4 that gets bigger when you cast dragons and has a counterspell attached. The 3/3 that destroys or that naturalizes and has a Reeve Soul attached.
Right.
And the 4/3 with flash that has a 3+1/+1 counters attached.
This card seems kind of bad. Like,
So you get
I like
10 dragons shuffled into your deck, and then whenever you cast an omen or a dragon, you draw a card.
They made a card that's like shuffle the power 9 into your deck, and that one I've been pretty on board with, and I play somewhat regularly.
Yeah.
These other cards that are like the bonus to paying 2 extra mana for your mana rock is like you shuffle
clog
10
your deck
uncommon dragons into your deck. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's no the other dragon card.
You do get to draw a card every time you cast an omen.
If I'm taking an alchemy card that cares about me casting dragon or omen spells, I'm taking the red one.
Wait,
Obviously.
sorry, I just figured out. We're supposed to play the red Scathe Zombies. Sorry, we were just talking about. And then this one. And this says whenever you cast an omen, you draw a card. So you can just like get that red guy down, get this down, and then you just make a bunch of haste dragons.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, gross.
Magical Christmas Land. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I feel like that is where you want to get your headspace to Magical Christmas Land.
True.
If you're going to be like hype for alchemy.
Fair.
Yeah.
Next. Hamza, Might of the Yathan.
Don't we know Hamza from like...
Yeah, Hamza's been around before.
Commander Legends, like the original Commander Legends?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize they were from Tarkir.
Yeah. 2 white, black, green for a 5/6 elephant warrior. Whenever a creature you control is turned face up, it endures X, where X is that creature's toughness. And landfall. Whenever landfall, seek a creature and manifest it.
Sick.
Wow.
Manifest a creature from your deck
Huh.
and then endure the heck out of it.
Yeah.
So there's some pretty whack stuff you can do with this. In these colors, you can just play this as your Brawl Commander and exclusively 1 mana creatures with like 4 toughness. Right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that seems like that's your Brawl strategy.
The Delcoven Pack Beasts, the 3 mana 0/4
Sure.
that mobilizes.
Yeah, that one's sick.
Yeah. I mean, 1 mana, a 1 mana 1/4, whatever. 1/3
I was thinking
would
like
be really
Disowned Ancestor from First Tarkir.
good. Oh yeah, 2 mana 0/4.
Or like, the monkey that lets you put a land into play. That one's going to be pretty sick in this deck from
Arboreal
War of the
Grazer.
Spark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arboreal Grazer into Hamza, because then now you're making more landfall triggers too, and like you're paying 1 mana to make another 3/3 or turn this into a 3/6 reach.
You wouldn't get the enter ability on the Arboreal Grazer.
Oh, right, you wouldn't. Sorry,
it'd be
you-
manifested.
right, you don't-
But still.
But say you get one of these in your hand, then instead you can rebuy and get a second landfall trigger.
This was just reprinted in one of the Tarkir Commander decks.
Oh yeah, there you
Wow.
go.
Amazing.
It's a sloth now.
Yeah.
It used to just be a beast, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's
now it's a
cool.
sloth beast.
Aw.
So good.
It's not a monkey. It's
Great
a
news
sloth.
for people named Paul.
Oh yeah, it does have a ring tail, doesn't it? Cool.
All right, what's next? Hardened Bonds. Single green for an enchantment. Whenever a +1/+1 counter is put on a creature you control, seek a creature card. That card perpetually gets +1/+1. This ability triggers only once each turn.
This seems actually fair and balanced by
Yeah,
alchemy
seems
standards.
totally fair.
The name
Put the counters on for you.
The name sounding so similar to Hardened Scales put me on edge.
Yeah.
But it turns out this is probably fine.
This is fine. All right,
it probably actually is okay. If your creatures are cantripping, then maybe it's a problem.
I'm hustling so long because we're 33 minutes in and we're at H.
The amber resin of the kin tree hardens with age. Just like our house, it's enduring, vital, and eternal.
Hey, that's some nice flavor text.
Yeah,
Always check for the flavor.
exactly. All right, next. Illuminating Lash. Blue, red for a sorcery. It deals 3 damage to any target, and you get a 1-time boon with when you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. That sounds great.
That
It's
seems
good.
good. This is also just a fair and balanced alchemy card.
I like this card. It's like, what if we made Lightning Strike a cantrip and sorcery speed? And they're like, that's a little too good, but we can give you this.
Neat.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Next. Lamb. Oh, right.
Oh,
I did see this one. Lamb. Storm Crane Elder. 2 white for a 3/3 human monk with prowess. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, conjure a card named Monastery Mentor.
You can
onto
see
the
how fast I read that card because I had not
Yeah.
seen it before.
It's a Monastery Mentor that makes Monastery Mentors.
Yo, dog. Heard you like Monastery Mentor.
Oh, God.
So you can prowess while you prowess.
So this card is undeniably very cool. I also think it's real stupid.
Yeah.
I think this falls under my umbrella of like arbitrarily powerful.
I just want them to keep doing this every time we go back to Tarkir so that when we go back, like if there's a Tarkir set in 10 years and we're still doing Alchemy on Arena, they should drop some other legendary like thing that poops these out.
Right.
Oh.
You know, except makes them non-legendary or something.
It would be some sort of like legendary dragon.
Maybe maybe there's like a Jeskai artifact or enchantment that's like legend rule doesn't apply whenever you cast a non-creature spell.
Reflections
create
of Lamb.
Yeah, create Lamb,
Oh,
Storm
yes.
Crane Elder, and then like
The copies are not legendary, and then it keeps pooping out Monastery
and then
Mentors.
it poops out infinity prowess dudes.
Flavor text: one way, many teachers. Way is capitalized.
Or give us a mitotic slime that's like the equivalent of this. And when you
run as
crack
many
open
lands
the
as you
egg,
want.
you get Monastery Mentors. Make 2 Monastery Mentors that also, when they die, make 2 1/1 prowess ones.
No, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Next, Mardu Thunderkite. Good name. Red, white, black for a 2/4 dragon with flying and mobilize 2. And when this creature enters, creatures you control perpetually gain your choice of menace, lifelink, or haste. Wild.
Is there flavor text? Because everything else about this card, you know, the name, mana cost obviously not the big deal, but I like the name, the mana to power and toughness ratio, the art, and the other 2 normal abilities. I like this card so much. I'm a little mad we don't have it in paper.
Well, because perpetually doesn't work in
course.
paper, right?
Yeah, no,
but
it's
you could
not a paper card.
You could do it with counters. Is
I'd
the
be
thing?
I would be happy to have a 2/4 flying mobilized 2 for 3.
Yeah, that would actually just be playable. It maybe wouldn't be a mythic at that point,
No,
but it would be really good.
It'd be an uncommon.
Yeah, sure. It'd be a bonkers uncommon.
Yeah, there's some bonkers uncommon.
yeah, for sure. I know.
Right?
Flying and mobilize is really good together.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of other cards
There's
that do have
Menace and
flying.
Mobilizer, yeah.
There's a white. It's a 3/3
4
for
mana,
4
4 mana 3/3.
that has mobilize 1.
Yeah,
and so
that's
like
true.
that's
I like
just a-
that card though. Yeah,
I love that
common.
card.
It's good.
That's a common. So uncommon, like your stats aren't as
Yeah.
good. It's harder to cast, but
Yeah.
it's mobilized too.
Yeah.
I also like that, it depends on the board state, that like this has a potential to just win the turn it enters in a variety of different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like either you give everything haste and then this and 2 1/1s are attacking in a surprise way that wasn't expected, or you give, maybe you're at a board stall and you're like, oh, but all my creatures have menace this turn, so you're dead actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, honestly, actually, this card in paper where it just says when this enters, creatures you control gain this ability till end of turn is like
that would still be very good.
playable card for
Yeah.
sure, right? Like everybody gets lifelink, and this board stall isn't really a stall anymore because you can't kill me next turn. Or everybody gains haste and this attacks.
Yep.
Or everybody gains menace and now you're dead.
I mean, I have found that sometimes this format leads to board stalls.
Sure.
So
Next, Oasis of Renewal. Black, green, blue. It's the Sultai card for a legendary enchantment. When Oasis of Renewal enters, and whenever a land leaves your graveyard,
okay.
seek a land. This ability triggers only once each turn. When Oasis of Renewal enters, and whenever a non-land leaves your graveyard, seek a non-land card. This ability triggers only once each
This is
turn.
Sultai win more.
Well,
This
it
is
draws
Sultai
100 cards.
Yeah, it's Sultai. How did BDM describe this once? Card velocity.
Right.
It's just moving cards between zones as quickly as you can. Why? I don't know. So
Imagine
it's like,
this with Delve.
yeah, exactly. Delve would be, so it only works once each turn, but that's still, so also,
No, but you can
Also,
get
you-
the land and the creature.
yeah, but also you cast this, so you cast it and it enters and you get a land and a non-land right away.
Yeah, it's like a divination. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just draws 2 cards. One's a land and one's a non-land, so that's already very good.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, if you use Renew, the Sultai mechanic, if you Delve, if you're, I don't know, someone exiles your graveyard, that counts, right? So that's
You can exile your own graveyard
Can we
with your
just-
scavenging ooze. Yeah.
Can we talk about how hard this art goes?
It's very cool art.
Because it's the reflection of and I kind of want to flip it upside down because it's a reflection on the side of the river because you can see there's water and there's rocks and it's like a beastie like an Enoch or something like looking down at itself.
I think it's a
But
dragon.
there's-
I think it's
or maybe
dragon,
it's a
yeah.
dragon. Yeah, like we're kind of.
It's hard to tell.
It's a weird angle I'm at too for our monitor.
Yeah.
But there's a saltai building in the background.
Yes.
But because it's reflected upside down in the position of the dragon's head, it looks like a skull. Like it's so good.
Yeah,
This
Oh my
is
God, you're
really
right.
good art.
Yeah, the art is.
sorry.
Did you not see that?
I just sort of crossed my eyes, and I didn't see until you mentioned it that that's absolutely a skull. Oh,
Yeah, you
man.
see the ridge of the roof line at the bottom is the teeth. The upside down dragon head makes the nose, and there's these two things on the other side. I can't tell what they are because I'm too far away. It looks like other people.
I think that's above the line of the water, right?
I think that's
Yeah.
other people
but
behind
they look
the
like
dragon.
eyes. or
You're right. Yeah,
whatever.
those are other Saltai people standing under archways at the base of the building. I think.
Yes, that form the eyes of the skull.
Okay.
And then the two spires coming down are like the cheeks.
Representing how we're working with your graveyard, right?
That's- yeah.
Among other things, right? That is dope, and thank you for pointing it out. I already liked the art before I knew that. but
Yeah, man, Steve Bledin, great work.
Also, I think the dragon in the center, reflection, is basically proportionally identical to the Commander Tarkir Dragonstorm symbol.
Oh yeah,
It's like that shape of dragon face.
Yeah, this is really good art.
Yeah.
damn, that goes so hard. It's a shame I'll never see it in paper.
Yeah, maybe this art was commissioned for a card that they ended up cutting from the main set or something.
I mean, I think that happens with Alchemy a lot. Is
Right.
that they're sort of like, oh, we have some art kicking around.
Right.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
we
this was done for
commissioned
the-
it for this thing, and that thing did not work.
This was done
not
for
fun.
the.
Yeah.
This was concept art for the World Guide, or
Yeah.
this is something we commissioned and never used.
right.
Yeah, cool. All right,
I
next.
can't believe you guys didn't see the skull.
No, I didn't see
No,
the skull.
thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it helped that you were at this weird angle. It's harder for you to focus on the other focal points of the art.
that's true.
Okay, earlier I mentioned that I had seen that card, and I thought it was going to be from a cycle of oases. So now I'm a little disappointed. Oh well.
Bummer. Pampered loam frill. Okay, dig it. 1 green mana for a 1/1 death touch lizard. Cool. With renew. The renew cost is 1 and a green, and exile it from your graveyard. Conjure a duplicate of another target creature card in your graveyard to the top of your library. The duplicate perpetually gets +1/+1 and death touch. So, and you don't have to exile the other card either.
No.
You exile this one,
Yeah.
and you're like, this creature that you killed earlier, it's coming back next turn stronger and madder.
Does this card have flavor text?
I hope so, because he's a little guy.
It looks like an iguana.
No, there's too many rules.
This card's
Too much rules text.
this card's cute and not too powerful for relative to Alchemy for sure. This card isn't super busted, I don't think.
No,
but
I think this is fine.
it's a cool role player for sure.
Imagine that you just you renew this and you conjure a 5/5 death touch Sagu Wildling. You're happy.
For sure.
Or not Sagu Wildling, Sagu Pummeler.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, if you can target a creature with trample, that's so good.
Ooh, death touch trample.
Oh yeah, Champion of Dusan.
Or your skirmish rhino.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yes, the Skirmish Rhino is a better hit for this than Champion of Dusan.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry. There's flavor text in the Oasis of Renewal, which it just says, "Death is what fills the pool of life."
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I can
Solid magic
guarantee
flavor
you
text.
whoever wrote that saw the skull in the
Yeah.
art.
Yes.
Why? So here's the thing. I was like in my head. Oh, I said it out loud. Actually, I looked at the pampered loam frill, and I was like, no, there's no room for flavor text. That's a mad thing to say.
Yeah,
Right.
Because it's
infinite.
digital only.
Yeah.
The flavor text is not shown in the rules box anyway. These could all have flavor text.
Yeah, in fact-
There's no reason not to.
Each one could have the entirety of War and Peace in the flavor text file when you hover over it.
Well, I was
yeah,
gonna say,
totally could.
Each one could direct you to the magic story.
Sure. Takes hyperlink that navigates you away from Arena.
yeah.
Another.
That's great gameplay.
Pearl Lake Warden. Okay, Pearl Lake Ancient was scary, so
Yes.
I'm on edge
Pearl-
already.
Big shoes here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dragon with an omen. The dragon is 3 and a blue for a 4/5. As long as this card is the top card of your library, you may look at it at any time, and you may cast it.
Now there is a mechanic that we need a digital client for.
Yes.
And it has flying, because it's a dragon. And the omen is green, 2 and a green. It's called Nesting Instinct. Seek a land and put it onto the battlefield. Okay, great news. That's ramp.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
okay.
We found one. It's like the Saigo Line Link,
Yeah.
but it does ramp.
This is fine.
And I think, so I imagine the way that this works on Arena is just if this happens to be the top card of your library,
It'll be visible.
yeah, you're just like, oh, look at that. It'll just be face up and probably highlighted.
I hope so. God, can you imagine if like it's the top card of your library and like a window pops up that's just like, would you like to look? Because it says you may. Would you like to look? I'm like, why are you asking me that? That's cheating.
But you can cast the omen.
You can if it's on the top.
Yeah. So that would be cool if
That makes
if
sense.
like turn
This
3
card.
this pops up and you're like, oh great, I'll just ramp and throw this back in the library. That's neat.
This is pretty. I think this is not egregious as far as alchemy cards go.
Nope. This one's solid though. 4/5 flying for
It's definitely one that
for
only
with
works on
flash.
Arena, but that's fine.
It's got to
Yeah.
be like among the best ninjas to kind of like
Oh,
flash
yeah,
in
no,
and
this
block
is-
with, like up there with the Wanderer from Duskmorn.
I'm just saying that on the
Doesn't have
badonkadonk
flash.
terms of alchemy, but you can cast it any
My bad.
time.
Oh, my bad.
Well, you may look at it any time.
Right.
and
Okay.
You may cast
it just has flying. It doesn't have flash.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. You
okay.
may look at it at any time.
But there is that blue
Sorry.
dragon in the main set that gives all your dragons flash. So
Oh.
that, combo.
Would that let you cast Nesting Instinct at instant speed? There's a judge
Yes.
question you never have to take because it's arena only.
Yes, and because it also says you can cast sorceries with flash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ta-da.
Easy.
Another. Runeblade Razor. Single black mana for a 2/1 human warrior.
I'm in.
Enters tapped. Sounds great.
Yep.
When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It perpetually loses this ability. So you get one more.
This is like
This is
targeted at me.
Yeah.
I love these guys. Yeah.
This is, what did you say about, it wasn't gutter bones, but one of them is, this gives me big sort of it can block energy, right?
Yeah. Oh no. Well, it comes in tapped at least.
Yeah. I guess that's the downside. I can't remember which one it was, but I love that it was like
Right. Ew, it can block.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a classic mono black aggro Nelly line.
Yeah. Next, Sibsig's Artisan. 1 in a black for a 3/2 human artificer. And it has no face-up ability, but it has a renew ability. If it's in your graveyard, 1 black, exile it from your graveyard, put 3 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. It perpetually gains this ability.
Oh,
So you can chain the renewal across any creatures that receive this boon.
Yep. You can just keep renewing and pumping the creatures. Pretty nice.
That's neat, actually.
And it's
That's clever.
Very grindy.
3/2 for 2.
Oh, yeah, right. That's also just good.
Yeah, it's good. Good stats.
Really good. Yeah, that's really good.
Goes in, trade with something, and then
Not even a 2/2. Wow.
yeah.
3 for that. Okay, great.
Wait, I should check if this...
3 to put 3 counters on is a very fair rate.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, wait. There's flavor text
nice.
on the Runeblade Razor.
Okay.
Sorry. Ukud Necropolis once housed the bones of Silumgar's honored brood. Now it's a trove of forgotten treasures.
Oh.
There's lore.
Okay.
Next. Song of Seasons. Why does this sound like a card that was printed in Ice Age?
Yeah. Kind of looks like a card.
It kind of looks like Ice Age, yeah.
I like the art.
1 red-green for a sorcery. Seek a mountain card, a forest card, and a non-mountain card, non-forest card, and a whiskey drink, and a vodka drink, and a
Nice.
lager drink, and a cider drink. Put one of them onto the battlefield, and put one of them into your graveyard. Okay, so it's 3 mana. You seek 4 lands.
Oh, one of them
Oh, no,
stays in
sorry.
your hand. 3 lands. It's
Sorry,
3 lands.
3 lands. A mountain, a forest, and a non-mountain, non-forest.
Yeah.
One of them goes into play, one of them goes into your graveyard, and one of them stays in your hand.
And one of them goes wee 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 all the way home.
Yeah. One of them sings you the songs that remind him of the good times. This seems
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is better than Cultivate because you get to just put it,
You get to bin one.
you get to throw one into the graveyard, and maybe you want that for some reason.
It also doesn't say tapped.
Oh,
Cultivate says tapped, so you get
Wow.
one of your manas back or something.
Okay.
Maybe you need an untapped Mazavith. I don't know. I don't think they have that on Arena.
yeah, because
but-
that's a non-mountain card.
yeah, but I don't know if it's on Arena. But it's something like that. Untapped utility land
Wild.
if you want it, or just more mana. You know, it's like
Low key powerful.
yeah, no, this card's good. I don't know if like there's an application for this card in because I just don't when I think of where alchemy cards get played, it's like Gladiator and Brawl. I think Brawl allows them. So like this seems like a sweet Brawl card. I don't know if there's a Gladiator deck that's like hopping and hopping for this card, but maybe. I forget what's banned. Sorry, Gladiator. Alchemy has made it hard for me to want to keep up in general because of all the reasons we've talked about. But this card is kind of sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next. Oh boy. Stonehide Ancient. 3 green, blue, red for a 6/6 dragon. It's got flying and vigilance, and when this creature enters, return all non-dragons to their owner's hands. Also, it has an omen, warning tremor. For 2 and a red, it deals 2 damage to any target, and then the next dragon you cast costs 2 generic mana less.
Ooh.
It's a cool card.
Yeah. So it doesn't destroy all non-dragons, but it just bounces them.
This could work in paper.
Yeah, absolutely it could. There's nothing here that doesn't work.
There's no time limit on the next dragon spell.
Yeah,
thing.
they do that in paper.
It's just bookkeeping. Yeah. I think most of the cards like that in paper, the ability will expire at the end of the turn. Like the next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less or whatever, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of extra bookkeeping that's required of you, but it's certainly not out of the realm of, what you can pull off.
It seems
On
good.
a paper card. And yeah, I really like that warning tremor as just a this is an expensive shock with this cool ramp ability. That's just like, direct damage to something plus mana isn't, those aren't 2 abilities we see
That
attached to
jumps
each other.
you from 3 to 5 mana too. To there's some good dragons you can cast at 5 mana in this format. Like the red one and the green one.
Yeah,
are
they're
both
just
5 mana, I believe.
Turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Warning Tremors, turn 3 this guy because you drew the other copy.
Yeah. Yeah. Magical Christmas Land. Let's go.
Yeah, sweet. Next, Stormforged Armor. 1 red for legendary equipment. The equipped creature has, whenever this creature attacks, conjure a card named Ball Lightning onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. And the equip cost is pay 3 life.
I take it all back. Alchemy is dope.
This is very funny.
So, yeah, the armor is so charged up, it makes you a Ball Lightning. Reminder, Ball Lightning, most recently reprinted in Foundations, but originally printed in...
The Dark.
The Dark.
Yep.
Red for a 6/1 with trample and haste and sacrifice it at the beginning of the end step. So this means when you attack with the creature, you just get a 6/1 trample also attacking.
That's brutal.
And you have to sacrifice at the end of the turn, just like your mobilize token. So all your stuff that cares about sacrificing is like, you sacrificed a creature.
Good point. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty wild. For Mardu blacksmiths, forging a Stormsinger's armor is considered a great honor.
Nice.
I didn't know that prior to reading that. So thank you, Flavor Text.
Yeah, this card slaps.
Yeah, this is pretty great. Swift Spear's Teachings. Single red mana for a sorcery. Draw a card. But also, you get a one-time boon with, when you cast a creature spell, it gains prowess and haste.
Oh, I'm sure that's totally fair.
I think it's missing a word here. To be clear, I don't think it's missing until end of turn. I think it's missing perpetually. Right?
Right.
But I guess maybe they don't mean perpetually. I think
it
they
doesn't.
just mean until it dies.
Yeah, I think it's not giving it to it perpetually. It's just, exactly. Not till end of turn, but it's going to gain those abilities, and then if it leaves zones, it'll go back to normal.
Yeah.
Which is maybe balanced or whatever.
I guess. It's just so weird to not see any timing clause there.
Right.
It
looks like riding the Delu horse, right?
It's inferred that it's like, it just gains these.
I like that it's a reference to Monastery Swift Spear, which had prowess and haste.
For sure.
Did you see, I think it was Chris Mooney was saying that the Corey Steel Cutter, the development name for that was Monastery Swift Spear.
Nice.
Yeah. And they were like,
awesome.
This is cute, but it's
Obviously,
too confusing. We can't do
this.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Next, Territorial Strike. 1 black-green for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may behold a dragon creature. Destroy target non-land permanent. If a dragon creature was beheld, it perpetually gets +2/+2.
That's
An advantage for
That's why.
beholding.
Because I was like, this is the only time I've seen it mention dragon creature, and we literally just earlier saw a dragon enchantment. So why would they specify creature? And it's because the you can't give an enchantment +2/+2. Hold your humility jokes. Okay, yeah, this seems
Powerful.
Seems great.
opalescence jokes.
Opalescence jokes. Sorry, yes, the other one.
Seems good.
I try not to think about these
The
cards.
the other piece of the rules nightmare.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Sounds great. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, where?
Solid card, and it's only an uncommon. Look, if you're
No flavor text.
strapped for wild cards, you can still play with this one.
Yeah. Another. Thunderbond Vanguard. 2 and a white for a star human warrior. Thunderbond Vanguard. Thunderbond Vanguard's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. Each creature token you control enters as a copy of this creature.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's messed up with Mobilize.
I won a game of midweek Magic with this card real quick.
No kidding.
It's just like swing with your mobilized dragon, make 2 6/6s. And the opponent was like, go to block to untap once, but they were just like, nope, I'm good.
I'm off it. Yeah, goodbye.
Not here to beat Thunderbond Vanguard.
Wow, that's messed up.
Yep. That's an alchemy card.
Yep.
Toe to tip.
My Dalcoven are those who ran before me, those who fight beside me, and those who bear my banner after me. Neat.
Like this with the monastery mentor.
Oh, man.
Does that circumvent the mobilize sacrifice trigger?
I don't think so. But the game didn't go that long.
Because they're...
So I don't actually know.
So, I don't think so, because they enter as a copy of the creature, but the sacrificing at the end of turn is not inherent to the creature. It's part of the mobilize cost. So I think that mobilize makes tokens that get sacrificed at the end of turn and probably doesn't care if those tokens become something else in the interim.
Right. I think if you
That
frogify
would be my guess.
I think that's right. I think if you frogify your mobilized tokens or like whatever, make them lose their abilities somehow, I think you still sacrifice them because
it's a mobilize. When it pops up on Arena, it's a mobilized. It's a delayed trigger of the card that made the tokens.
Oh yeah, that
when
Not
when
the
they
token
when they
themselves.
token itself.
Yeah, when they pop up on the stack. So yeah, but that's still messed up. Eureni's Council. 6 and a blue for a sorcery. It costs 1 less to cast for each dragon in your library. Seek a dragon.
Wow.
And it has Harmonize for 8 red. Which is also cost reduced for each dragon in your library.
This one doesn't really speak to me. It's like if you're playing a deck with a bunch of dragons in it, you're just going to end up with those dragons in your hand anyway. I guess it's a draw 2 for 3 mana. That's fine.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I like
'cause-
Areni's rebuff more.
There's no way that you run this unless you have more than 6 dragons in your deck. So it's just a single in your library.
Right.
So it's just single blue mana to draw a dragon.
Get one of your dragons, yeah.
And presumably you were running ones that all have omens, so they're cheaper.
This seems fairer on the alchemy card scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only want to see the unfair stuff.
Yeah. Pay 1 blue to draw a card that costs 6.
Where are you? How many cards do we have left?
I don't know. Not that many, I don't think. Let's see. Waystone's Guidance. 1 and a white for an enchantment. Attacking tokens you control get +1/+0. Cool. And whenever you cast your first creature spell each turn, that spell gains Mobilize 2.
That's too powerful.
Wowee.
For 2 mana? Oh my god.
Wowie zowie.
I liked this until we got to that part.
Like a little Orcish Oriflamme.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orcish Oriflamme for just tokens but half off that's a respectable card right there. It's like, oh, this is kind of a bad intangible virtue. And then you read the second sentence and you're like,
no, this is great.
No, this is a terrifying intangible virtue.
Yikes. That seems real busted.
Yep. I think that's it. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
One more.
Jokai Flickering Talon. Blue, red, white for a 2/3 bird monk with flying, vigilance, and haste. When this card enters, the next non-creature spell you cast costs 1 less to cast. Okay. And then Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control.
Wow.
That seems like a very reasonable mythic.
Trying to think where the flickering fits into the Jeskai plan, because we obviously have a creature that's it's not quite oh shoot, I've forgotten the name of it. Mantis Rider. There we go, we got there.
Yeah.
It's not quite Mantis Rider, but almost, and gives you a couple of sort of diverging extra abilities. Sorry, microphone bump. Sorry about that. And I just don't know which Jeskai creatures you're super stoked to target with the flicker ability. There's probably a good answer. I'm just not thinking of it. But yeah, this is a neat card.
Mm-hmm.
I like the space they're exploring with this alchemy card.
Yeah.
So obviously,
this is not as busted as some of the other ones.
yeah, no, and it's a bit more of like a thinking kind of brewer's challenge to make this one work.
Rather than cast creatures, go destroy.
Oh, it's maybe also just a cool brawl leader.
Oh, that's true.
right. That makes
Commander.
sense.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that it, Paul?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Well, there we are. There's alchemy. Not actually as backbreaking as
Only some
previous.
of it is backbreaking.
Some of it's
you could get an alchemy
unreasonable.
pack with like a mid-tier uncommon.
Yeah.
And your opponent could have that red card.
Yeah.
Which one? Yeah, you know which one I'm talking
There's like 5 of them. Red got more cards than any other.
Yeah.
The Mardu cards seem pretty busted.
Yeah.
The Sultai and Abzan cards seem like okay. Like I like the Siege Rhino card, and the Hamza card is a really interesting build around. But like there were several Mardu cards that are just like, this is messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Hey, what do you make of this new round of alchemy? I don't really play it very often, but I'd be curious to know what you all
Yeah, let us
feel
know in the
about it.
comments how our evaluation skills were. Were we dead on, or were we missing a line on some of those things that we thought, oh, well, that's merely a fair and balanced alchemy card, so you're not doing anything too degenerate with it. Tell us how to be degens.
Yeah. But I think that'll do it for this week. So until next time, I want to remind you all about cardkingdom.com/LRR. Please use Card Kingdom to buy your paper cards. Nothing you've seen today,
No.
except for that one at the beginning.
And ball lightnings. You can get as
And
many ball
lightnings.
lightnings
You can
as
get ball
you want.
lightnings. Go to town. Sure. Dragon Shield, use the code LRRMTG5 if you're buying anything off Dragon Shield. And of course, and most importantly, everything we do here is brought to you by you and your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or by becoming a member on this YouTube channel. We really appreciate you watching and listening and being here and leaving a comment and all that lovely stuff. Until next time, I have been Graham, joined by Nelson.
Hey, that's me.
And Kathleen.
Catchphrase soon.
Paul's been on tech today. Heather gets these online. Thank you all so much for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.